I'll go on to the next place. And I love how you're saying it's not my job to motivate you. I mean, you couldn't get away with saying that in the military.
No, you're right. What they say, false motivation is better than no motivation.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a win. It's another win. How many times have you taken a promotion or done something that probably wasn't the best idea, but you saw it as another win, another check mark, another medal, another something that you could add to the trophy case? So yeah, to Chris's question, you as the commander, how are you deciphering and I guess, getting through their BS and their competitiveness to say, maybe you stay in your lane. Maybe we just give you the football and you don't become the leader.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure you guys have had this experience. As a leader, you evolve. And I always think, I was a much better leader in the military because I could show up, and if the young captain said, I said, okay, what's your plan? Hey, sir, this is my plan. And that's okay. Is that really what you want to do? Have you thought about this, and this? Yes, sr. Okay, go do it. I know it's going to fail, but that's okay, right? Because that's what training is for. But it's different, right? When you deploy, right? And all of a sudden, there's bullets coming down, right? Then you have to take a little more control. Well, in the real world, as a leader, every day there's, the business is at stake, right? One mistake could really hurt the business. Well, our clients who have entrusted us, their futures are at stake, right? I don't care whether it's someone who's seriously injured, someone who's facing charges, or a veteran who's been denied by the VA. They've come to us, right, with the weight of the world on their shoulders, and we have to help them. And so, when I think one of the challenges is, it's like we're not training. Every day is game day. As Joel Makovica says, every day is game day. And so if every day is game day, I, as a leader, a lot of times I don't give, I find myself in this really ebb and flow of like, I'll say, hey, go run with it until there's a problem, and then I'll pull it back and micromanage a little bit. And in many ways, I think I'm kind of the glue. Our chief operating officer, who comes from an Am Law 50 firm, which means one of the 50 largest firms, a $1 billion law firm, he really runs the financial piece and the HR piece. And then we've got our commanders who are the subject matter experts, right? Who are great lawyers and are great at training lawyers. But then there's this piece in the middle, right? Where there's, okay, but what about the business? Who really understands the tactics of the business development? Who really understands the tactics of the training to make them even better? And so I kind of act as the glue, right, between the chief operating officer and the commander. I'm making sure that everything works, and that that role has evolved. And I'd love to say that I'm great at it, but I generally think that as a leader, I was a much better leader in the military because I could actually I could let go and distance myself and say I'm developing this leader. I think it's a lot harder when every day you're showing up at work and the problems just mount and mount and mount, and you get frustrated because you've invested a lot in someone who you thought was going to be a champion, who no longer wants to play the game. And you've poured your heart and soul into this person, right? And you said, I'm going to make you great. And they're playing along. And then one day, for life circumstances, maybe you fail as a leader, but it doesn't work out and you lose them, or, every racehorse goes lame, and all of a sudden they just stop caring. And if my job is not to motivate people. If you're not motivated, go work somewhere else. I'll refer you to one of our competitors if you're not motivated. I got plenty of people I'll send you to. I'm happy to help.
I do love that. I love that.
I think you're hard on yourself saying you're not as good a leader in the civilian sector as the legal world, because I think in the legal world and in the military, there was a respect you could demand that if someone didn't follow, they could be held accountable in much different ways than the civilian sector. So sometimes, look, as a butter bar, you show up and you already have respect. Well, not real respect, but at least you're getting saluted or whatever.
You got to read the book. You got to read the book.
I'm not saying you have actual respect, but they're forced to respect you. I guess that's what I'm saying. When people here, they're just like, I'll go on to the next place. And I love how you're saying it's not my job to motivate you. You couldn't get away with saying that in the military.
No, you're right. What they say, false motivation is better than no motivation.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's true.